We're talking with Dennis Wharton. He's the Executive Vice President of Communications with the NAB. Hey, thanks for your time. And for my viewers who aren't familiar with the NAB and what it does, let us know.
This is the world's largest media and technology conference annually. We have it in Las Vegas pretty much every year now. We've been here since 1991. There will be 90,000 plus attendees from all over the world. 156 countries are represented here. There will be about 1,600 exhibiting companies, about a third from outside the United States. So if you're in the communications business in any form, you want to be at the NAB show. The exhibitors are here because they sell a lot of product. Anywhere from $15 to $20 billion worth of sales are generated on the show floor this week. If you're attendees, you want to learn about how you can advance your business interests, maybe find out some new ideas on how to network with your colleagues and create new revenue opportunities. It's all about digital. It's all about getting your product on as many platforms as possible. As broadcasters, we want to get our content on as many devices and gadgets as possible.
Sounds like me.
It's a communications cornucopia on that show floor.
The tagline was where content, I think it says where content comes to life.
Right.
And how important has content become in the business now? And it's a dumb question, but let's talk about that.
There's an expression, content is king. I mean, we can have as many distribution platforms as we want, but unless there's compelling content, unless the programming excites the viewers or listeners, it doesn't matter what device you have to distribute the product, people probably aren't going to tune in. So content from an NAB show perspective means bringing creators of the content, whether that's script writers, whether that's producers, directors of entertainment. I mean, James Cameron, the director of the Titanic and Avatar, has been to the NAB show on several occasions. Jeffrey Katzenberg from Disney and Walt Disney Studios has been here to talk about 3D. So content is everything if you're in the broadcast or communications business, because it's what keeps consumers coming back to your product.
NAB also does lobbying. I overheard at the American Idol luncheon. Correct me if I get this incorrect, but some, I believe, cable providers are inappropriately using content without compensation.
That issue is called retransmission consent, where broadcasters sit down with cable systems who rebroadcast our content on their cable systems every so often, and we negotiate carriage rights to our programming, our most watched programming, like American Idol. And we think it's only fair that if a cable system is taking our content, in this case it's coming from Fox Broadcasting, but they have hundreds of affiliates, local TV stations across the country. We think it's only fair that those local TV stations, which also supplement that Fox programming with their local news, public affairs programs, emergency weather warnings, we think it's only fair that they get compensated fairly for that valuable content. After all, local television station programming supplemented with the network programming that comes with that local television programming is the most watched programming on television, far exceeding any of the cable networks that you read about. It's local broadcasting that really drives viewership in the United States.
I didn't know that was it sounds like a widespread problem that's been sort of under the radar. Maybe,
Not in my world. If you're from Washington, D.C. and you're in our little world, it's a huge issue and it's well known, but to the masses, it really is probably not a huge issue. One reason it's not a huge issue is because there's very few disruptions of the programming in the marketplace. The ultimate leverage of broadcasters is if we are not getting fair compensation for our most watched programming, we have the ability to say you can't carry our product.
Right.
But there's always an option to get that product on another platform, whether it's satellite TV, whether it's over the air with an antenna on your roof. So the options are many for viewers to continue to receive that programming, even if there is a problem with a carrier.
What about, say, YouTube, for example? Is that an increasing player in this as a result?
I mean, the internet is, as they say, changing everything, and broadcasters are the most watched internet providers in most communities. You'd be surprised by that.
Yeah.
In local TV markets across the country, generally the number one go-to spot, for example, for local news is a website that's owned by the local broadcaster. So broadcasters are embracing the internet. YouTube and Hulu and Netflix are all sort of making us more competitive, certainly, but also sharpening our skills to make sure that we are relevant with content that is compelling for our viewers. So we think the internet's a good thing so long as programming that is rebroadcast on the internet, that's broadcast programming, is not stolen or is not pirated.
Right.
That's a huge issue. I often joke that if you have young children and you want to suggest a profession to them, suggest that they become a copyright lawyer.
Yeah.
That's a growth business.
How can a content creator listening to this help you out in the cause of righting this ship?
I don't know if we need to right the ship. We need to have laws and regulations that allow broadcasting to flourish. We need to have laws that protect broadcast content from being stolen by pirates. And there are a lot of people who would simply love to.
That affects me too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies who would love to start their business on the backs of local broadcast programming, retransmit it on the internet, and keep all the money they're charging as part of the service. Well, that's not how it works.
Right.
There would be no incentive to create that content if you're a broadcaster, to buy expensive rights to NFL football, to American Idol, to 60 Minutes. Without some adequate compensation, why would you be part of that business? Because you do need a return on investment to be able to sustain a business model.
Fascinating.
Okay?
Very informative. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Okay, thank you.